It's a wee bit stormy all of a sudden.
Sylvando, this ship of yours is not about to sink, is it?
Don't mention the S word! I'll have us out of this in just a jiffy!
I smell fresh flesh.
That voice, where is it coming from?
Oh, yeah.
Tremble before the mighty Alizarin, faithful servant of the Lord of Shadows and ruler of the deep. You dare to enter my realm unbidden. Know that an insult to me is an insult to my lord and master. Prepare to pay with your lives.
You're the one who'll be paying, you great big slimy so-and-so! Get a load of this! Are you having me on? I just blasted you with pearly gates and you barely even flinched!
The orb with which my lord and master entrusted me renders all your petty human enchantments null and void. Now join me in the blackest depths of despair.
No!
Unknown. What is this place? Perhaps you should take a closer look at the cottage with the water wheel. Having set on a quest to find his friends, Tran sets sail for Arboria on Sylvando's ship, the Salty Stallion. Before they can reach their destination, however, the party are ambushed by Mordegon's minion, Alizarin. Rab steps forth and flings the full power of Pearly Gates in the creature's face, but it has no effect at all. Diving back beneath the waves, the creature attempts to capsize them, and our hero is thrown overboard into confusion. But instead of finding himself underwater, Tran surfaces among idyllic plains and rolling meadows. Well. So it's you. Don't look so worried. This place isn't heaven, but it's certainly not hell either. Well, don't just stand there. Grab yourself a rod. There's one over there. There's some fishing rods standing here. Pick one up.
And what, might I ask, are you staring at? Is there something stuck to my face?
Yes.
All right, all right. It is rather an imposing appearance, I agree. Why don't we try another? No, still no good. Well, if at first you don't succeed.
Not settling on a particular form, hmm? That rather makes me think you might not know who I am. In your world, I am known as the seer. I take on different appearances for different people, you see. By which I mean to say that I look different depending on who is doing the looking. But enough about me. How's the fishing? Caught anything? No, I didn't think so. You're not ready yet, you see. When the time comes, you will know it. When the fish finally takes the bait, you must be ready to reel it in. But until then, you have no choice but to wait patiently. That is just the way of life. You know, I have the strangest feeling I've met one of your companions. Eric, was it? Well, no matter. We are not here to discuss him. Come, let us go inside. We can save the fishing for another day.
But instead of finding himself underwater, Tran surfers instead among idyllic plains and rolling fields. A simple cottage stands in the middle of the meadow, and on its roof sits a very strange person called the Seer. After a brief spot of fishing, the two retire indoors. Speak with the Seer inside the cottage.
Take your seat. Make yourself at home. Now, the fact that you're here makes me wonder if you might have taken a bit of a wrong turn somewhere. Hold still for just a moment. Ah, so that's it. Worried we've lost the power of the luminary, are we? Well, I'm afraid there's not much I can do about that. But there is one thing I can say. You may think that your power has been taken from you by the Lord of Shadows. But power cannot be taken, no more than it can be touched or tasted. Especially not the power of the luminary. Still no idea what I'm talking about, huh? Well, no matter. I think that's enough for now. Let me leave you with this thought. When the time comes, you will know. You will feel the tug on the line, and you will know. As in fishing, so in life. Oh, that's right. You're drowning, aren't you? That won't do at all. Well, don't fret. A certain sacred tree tells me it's not your time just yet. Right. We'd better get you woken up, hadn't we? You are the luminary, after all. You have rather an important task to be getting on with. Go. Save the world.
darling, you're alive! Oh, thank goodness.
When you took that tumble into the sea back there, we all thought you were done for, laddie. Oh, it was terrible. We tried to fish you out, but you slipped beneath the waves before we could get to you. But then, well, it was nothing short of a miracle. There was a bright light, and suddenly, there you were, floating up from the seabed. Somehow we managed to pull you out of the water, give that big, slimy so-and-so the slip, and get here to safety. I still don't know quite how we did it.
What's the matter, honey? You look like you've seen a ghost. You're kidding. You were fishing, and you met a person called the Seer, and they turned into a dog? Oh, come on, silly Billy. You were just dreaming, that's all. You were out for a long time.
You have been through quite an ordeal. You need rest. As do we all. Come.
Whoop.
No one ever believes me.
Put courage in your heart and lightning in your hand.
There'll be time enough for staring out to sea tomorrow, laddie. Come on, let's get you to bed.
The party bed down in the cabin on the seashore and take a much-needed rest. But instead of finding himself underwater, Tran surfaces instead among idyllic plains and rolling fields. There he meets a strange person called the Seer, who tells him that the Luminary's power can't be lost, let alone destroyed by the Lord of Shadows. Leaving our hero with a stern instruction to save the world, the Seer sends him back to reality, where he awakens on the seashore surrounded by his friends. They tell him of their miraculous escape from almighty Alizarin, and then head indoors to rest. Before following them inside, Tran stares out to sea, where he sees these strange words upon the waves. Put courage in your heart, and lightning in your hand.
Is they right?
Ugh, it was nothing short of a miracle, laddie. I thought we'd lost you to the depths.
Anyway...
Then there was a bright light, and suddenly there you were, floating up from the seabed. That's the luck of the Luminary for you. There's no time to be dwelling on your good fortune, though. You remember what Dave said about everyone at the Warrior's Rest having the same dream? If you ask me, it's high time we go and investigate. So, that nasty monster called itself Alizarin and said it was a servant of the Lord of Shadows, right? Well, honey, we need to take care of that thing. I mean, next time he might sink the salty stallion. There's no way I'm going to allow that. Huh? What's that? You're asking if I ever met a woman with blue hair who called herself the Seer? Now that you mention it, it does ring a bell. Yeah, I think I might have, but I can't really remember the details. Sorry about that.
Could it be...
This place, it is exactly as I remember it. But there's no time to be wallowing in old memories. Come, Tran, we must push on. Oh, you're awake at last. I hear you were attacked by the sea monster everyone has been talking about. I can't believe you survived. It must be your lucky day. Now, I hope you're not thinking of venturing out to sea again. The beast may have swum off into the open ocean, but I doubt he'll stay away for long. Perhaps a trip to the Warrior's Rest would be a wiser move. The inn has been the source of many a mysterious rumor of late. Visit the Warrior's Rest in Zwaardsrust. People from all over Arboria are claiming to have seen a number of strange fish-like creatures rising from the ocean and onto the land. Once I would have laughed at such fanciful tales, but since the fall of Yggdrasil, nothing seems impossible. What will become of this world? Core blimey, that was a close one. I really thought that Alizarin was going to drag us under. Still, we made it to Zwaardsrust. Now, where's this Warrior's Rest place, eh? What's that? The Salty Stallion? Not a scratch on her, shipmate. She's ready to set sail whenever you are. What's your boss? Back aboard the Stallion, is it? That beastie headed out to sea, but I don't think it'd be wise to follow. Not while he's got that barrier protecting him. No, We need to have a wee think about how to get past his defenses. Now, I reckon we'd best be heading back to the shore for the time being. Dave was telling me about the inn called the Warriors Rest over in Zwaardsrust. Apparently, everyone who stays there has the same dream. I reckon we should pay it a visit and see what's going on.
Perhaps.
So the Lord of Shadows put that awful monster in charge of the ocean. Oh gosh, I dread to think what might have happened to Nautica. I mean, he really doesn't look like the type to let mermaids live in peace. We need to do something about him, fast. There's something strange about the ocean. Almost as if there's nothing alive in it anymore. I guess fresh fish is off the menu.
Could it be?
The beast Alizarin was formidable indeed. It is hard to imagine how powerful its master must be. All I know is that if this fiend is ruling the oceans, those who dwell by the coast must be suffering. We cannot allow this to go on.
Not bad at all.
Victory is ours.
Thought I saw a Bodkin Archer. Maybe it was probably just a Raven. Welcome to the Warriors Rest. I suppose you've come because you've heard the rumors. Well, this is the place. Everyone who stays here has exactly the same dream. I shan't tell you what kind of dream it is, though. If you want to know, you'll have to spend the night. Look, all I'm saying is, there's something not quite right about this everyone having the same dream business. I mean, what if it's some kind of supernatural thing, and everyone who has a dream gets cursed or something? Let's just go and stay somewhere else, okay? Well, this trip has taught me something already. This one here is an absolute coward. I've never seen such umming and ahhing about whether or not to stay at an inn. Whoa there, traveler, what's the rush? Didn't anybody ever tell you that haste makes waste? Sometimes you just got to sit back, relax, and listen to some sweet lute licks, like the ones I'm about to lay down. I'm about to bust some serious grooves. Perhaps it'd be wise for you to stock up on a few essentials before continuing on your travels. Why don't you take a look at my wares? I bet this place has been raking it in since the stories about that dream started spreading. No wonder the owners are so cheerful. Our guest numbers have increased dramatically of late. Our profits have almost tripled. It's all because of the strange dream that everyone is seeing. Of course, but a dream alone will not make anyone wealthy. It's up to us to make the most of this good fortune. Just arrived, have you? Well, you missed out. You should have seen the martial artist who was staying here a little while ago. She was stunning. Out of this world, in fact. What's that? Where she's gone now? I have no idea, sorry. She just up and left without a word. Word is that the fall of Yggdrasil has opened up the path to Dundrasil again. I'm just letting you know in case you're thinking of heading over there. Goodness knows why you would be, though. I mean, there's nothing left to see. Hey, have you heard about Octagonia, the city to the north of here? People are saying that it's turned into some kind of earthly paradise. I know a few people who went there, and I've not seen any of them since. Which must mean it's something really special, right? I mean, if people go there and refuse to leave, it's gotta be amazing. I can't wait to see it by myself. No! Alright, whatever. I think it's a diamond up there, and I'm sure I've got enough for now. I just figured since I was up there anyways, I might as well grab it. The closest town is many miles away. I suggest you rest at the inn here and say a few prayers before continuing your journey. Welcome to the Warrior's Rest. If you wish to have the same dream as all your fellow guests, you've come to the right place. Now then, welcome to our inn, weary travelers. Would you like to spend the night or just rest for a while? In either case, I can offer you a rate of 50 gold coins. How long would you like to rest for? Please enjoy your stay.
Such pain. Such despair. I am helpless, powerless, bound by the chains of regret. If only I could go back, I would gladly accept eternal damnation just to go back to that day.
Please, hear my plea. You must free this restless knight from his prison of despair.
So we all had the same dream, eh? Just like people have been saying. The poor knight bemoaning his fate, asking to go back.
Oh, it was tragic. He looked so desperate. I wish there was something we could do to help, but we don't know who he is, or even where he is.
Maybe not. But that was Dracilian armor he was wearing. There's no doubt about that. What do you say, laddie? Shall we go and see what's become of Dundrasil now that this blasted darkness has engulfed the world?
No. While looking for a way to Arboria on the quest to find his friends, Tran and his current companions stop off in what was once Zwaardsrust and spend the night at an inn there. That evening, they all see the same man in their dreams, a woeful warrior grieving inconsolably. Rab recognizes the crest on the sad soldier's armor as the seal of Dundrasil and suggests that there may be some hint as to the meaning of the dream in the ruins of that once great city. With no other leads to go on, the party set out to see what they can find. The man we saw in our dream was wearing Dracilian armor, laddie. You can take my word for it. Let's head over to what's left of the odd city. I have a feeling we'll find out who he is once we're there.
Honey, please.
Every guest at an inn having exactly the same dream? This is seriously weird. That man's voice. I don't think I've ever heard anything so sad. Honey, we have to help him. That soldier we saw in our dream looked kind of sad, right? I wonder what happened to him. Surely not. Surely it could not have. Forgive me. This is no time for my idle musings. Let us press on. You spent the night here, didn't you? Then you have seen him too, that poor knight begging for help. I'm no expert in this kind of thing, but I've heard some guests say that he's wearing armor from Dundrasil. You know, that kingdom that got destroyed by monsters. If you're curious about the place, you can get there by heading west from the ruins of Zwaardsrust. I think that's the quickest way, actually. if you try to go here earlier, Rab just tells you that you need to go to the inn. Same for the other exit.
Oh, snap!
Not bad at all. Surrender your soul!
We did it, darlings!
This place was in ruins the last time we came. But this is something else. It fair breaks my heart. Where was I? Yes. It should be around here somewhere. Would you boys do me a favor and shift this little lot?
Well, don't just stand there, darling. If I'm getting my hands dirty, you are too.
Where does this stairway lead, Lord Robert?
To an underground passage that runs beneath the castle. It was meant to allow the royal family to flee should Dundrasil ever come under attack. Right. Let's get in there and see if we can find some clues to the identity of our restless knight, shall we?
In an attempt to identify the sad soldier, the party traveled to Dundrasil Castle. There, Rab finds the entrance to an underground tunnel, and our heroes tiptoe down into the dank, dark depths in search of further clues.
Darling.
Honestly, I could have traipsed around these ruins for hours and never noticed those stairs. Well, now we found them. I guess we should use them. Come on, honey, down we go. We're going to solve the mystery of that poor man in the dream. The answers lie here in Dundrasil, mark my words. In fact, I think I know exactly where we need to head. Come on, laddie, let's push on. Whoa, this place has been totally trashed. What the heck happened here? Huh? This is your hometown? Oh man, I'm sorry. Dundrasil was a place of great beauty, both in its landscapes and the hearts of its people. That Mordegon could destroy it all without compunction is unforgivable. He must pay for what he has done.
Now then, laddie.
This place has seen better days, eh, laddie? It's gone to rack and ruin like the rest of the city. Mind you watch your footing in the dark. Now, if my suspicions are correct, we just need to push on a little further. With a bit of luck, all our questions about that dream will soon become clear.
Hey, honey.
It looks like this was a kind of escape route out of the castle. Oh, man, it's so dusty. I don't think anyone's been down here in a long time. We must be wary. I sense a presence up ahead.
Such pain, such despair. How dare you? How dare you return here? Begone, servants of evil! You took everything. You destroyed everything. You monsters! I will never forgive you!
I'm keen to have a wee chat with our friend here, but something tells me he's got other things in mind.
Up and at 'em, darlings!
Restless Knight is defeated. Each party member receives 4,000 experience points.
Such pain. You took my beloved Eleanor. You took my boy. I will never forgive you.
Eleanor? But that's the old queen's name, which would make you...
Erwin, last king of Dundrasil. Just as I thought. A great man, and a fine warrior too, as you've just witnessed. And, most importantly of all, your father. I'm sorry the two of you had to meet like this. What happened to you, Erwin? Come on, laddie. Look at me. What in the...
At last you have come. Long have I waited for a kindly soul to free my restless knight from his misery.
The voice from the dream.
You are correct, of course. Before you kneels Erwin, King of Dundrasil. All those long years ago, on that darkest of days, he fought to the last. The light of justice sustained him, and he refused to yield to the darkness. But with time, that light has waned, and all that remains is the tortured soul you see before you. Lost between light and dark, life and death. I beg of you, help him, free him from his nightmare. Shine the light of hope into the darkness of his despair.
The voice. It's gone again. Who is she?
Mommy!
That'll have to wait. Erwin here needs our help. But what are we supposed to do to help him?
In an attempt to identify the sad soldier, the party travel to Dundrasil Castle. There, they follow a dank, dark tunnel to a place where they find the man himself. He utters the same mournful lamentations they heard in the dream before suddenly attacking. The friends emerge victorious and learn of the Restless Knight's true identity. He is none other than our hero's father, King Erwin. Having uncovered this tragic truth, they vow to save him from the endless misery that assails him. I cannot believe this is what's become of poor Erwin. We have to do something about this, laddie. You're his son, eh? Wanna go a wee bit closer and listen to what he has to say for himself. I too was party to the tragedy that befell this place all those years ago. I was sent to save King Carnean from the monsters. Your father was a fine warrior, Tran. You must never forget that. Free him from his nightmare? That's what the voice said, right? What are you waiting for, honey? Your poppy deserves to rest in peace, and you're the only one who can make that happen. So that's your dad, huh? You know, all this stuff about family is really making me think about my own. I mean, I must have had a dad too, right? But I guess I'll never know who he was. Surprised they let me run away. Such pain, such despair. You took my Eleanor, my Tran. You destroyed everything. I will never forgive you. King Erwin continues to mutter pitifully. Move in closer to listen? No. Yes. As he steps forward, Tran is suddenly transfixed by the void inside his father.
Do I smell fresh meat? It's been a while. Years, in fact. Well then, I need to make you nice and miserable before I devour your tender torment. Watch and despair. Such pain, such anguish. I am helpless, powerless, bound by the chains of regret.
Yes, well, of course. We've been waiting a long time.
King Erwin, it is a great honor to be invited to celebrate this most special of days with you.
The birth of your son and heir is a source of great joy and happiness to us all. Congratulations, Your Majesty.
Thank you. Thank you. Aye, this is a momentous day for Dundrasil. I am truly humbled to be lucky enough to celebrate it with you all. My dear Sultan, King Gustav, allow me to welcome you both to Dundrasil. You honor us with your presence.
The honor is all ours, King Erwin. Truly, it has been far too long. 1,000 thanks for preparing such lavish festivities. Though, of course, we are not here merely to celebrate. Today's colloquy of kings shall determine the fate of Arboria for generations to come. I, for one, mean to see that my people's interests are well represented. You will forgive me if I grow a little passionate at times.
It is the first time the rulers of the four kingdoms have ever gathered under one roof, you know. A momentous occasion indeed. But the reason itself is a momentous one, of course. The birth of an heir to the title of luminary is an event of unparalleled significance.
Indeed it is. Thank you once again for agreeing to meet so readily. Now, I have some final preparations to make before we convene the colloquy. I will come and fetch you when we're ready to begin. Guards, I don't suppose any of you have seen King Carnelian?
Yes, sire. King Carnelian is walking the grounds with Lord Robert, sire.
Our hero approaches Erwin in order to try and help him, but is stopped short by a sinister voice, and sucked into a dimension of despair in which his poor father has been trapped, a place that looks a lot like Dundrasil before its destruction. Can I believe King Erwin makes the time to talk to ordinary guards like me? I am lucky to be working for a man like him, and that's a fact. Aye, what can I do for ye? I could have sworn there was somebody talking to me. Must be my imagination. Oh, we get to see the Luminary. Honestly, Luminary of legend, the one who once saved Arboria from the ancient evil. He bore a mark upon his hand, the mark of light. Now Prince Tran is here, and he bears the same mark. Not that we've seen it yet, of course. Crivens, the birth of a wee prince has brought the poshest folk from all four kingdoms to the castle. I've to be on my best behavior today. The birth of the Luminary brings the promise of peace for all Arboria. Let all be as Yggdrasil wills it. A most agreeable banquet. Okay, I'm actually surprised I could smash that and find something. I really don't know why everyone makes such a fuss about the Luminary. He's just a character from an ancient fairy tale. He isn't even real. Not like Sir Hendrik of Heliodor. Now there's someone you really can believe in, a true hero. Every day brings new reports of monsters terrorizing some village or other. The world's become rather a dangerous place. Thank goodness the Luminary is here at last to keep us safe from all the unpleasantness. By the sands, what a feast! And as if that were not cause enough joy, the rulers of the great kingdoms are gathered at last. The birth of the Luminary is an auspicious event indeed. My own son and heir is also soon to be born. I must endeavor to celebrate his arrival with equal pomp and splendor. The Knights of Dundrasil share the same chivalric values as the Desert Knights of Gallipolis, but this is no surprise, of course. King Erwin is a knight himself. I am sure he urges his men to honor the pledge, just as His Most Exalted Majesty the Sultan does. King Erwin has proven himself to be a wise and benevolent ruler, as well as a mighty warrior. Now his son turns out to be the Luminary. He's certainly not waiting for plaudits, that one. How in heavens is one expected to bring a child up to be a hero and savior? The mere thought of that kind of pressure is simply terrifying. Top notch, simply delicious. The soldier doesn't move a muscle. He doesn't seem to be aware of Tran's presence. The rulers of all 4 kingdoms brought together for a great summit. There'll be fireworks, I'm sure. And luckily for me, I have a front row seat. I wonder when Prince Tran will be present to us all. I can't wait to see if he has his mother's face. Doesn't it feel strange, though, pinning the hopes of our kingdom on a wee baby? But I have no doubt he'll be able to handle it. Just hope we get to see him soon. There's no need to be so impatient. We'll get to see the baby just as soon as the Colloquy of Kings is done. I think they might be getting started with that any minute now, actually. I saw King Erwin head into the courtyard with King Carnelian.
King Carnelian, Lord Robert, I will be convening the colloquy shortly, if you'd like to make ready.
Lord Robert informs me that the boy bears the mark. That he is the Luminary reborn.
That's right, aye. I've decided to present him to you all at the colloquy. The sight of so many people gathered to celebrate his birth has brought home to me how important he is. How much hope the light he brings represents.
Oh, save it for the meeting, Owen.
Don't take it to heart, laddie. The fate of all Erdrea hangs on the Luminary now. Not everyone's going to be happy about that. Right, it's nearly time. Why don't you go and fetch the wee one from Eleanor's chambers?
While looking for a way to Arboria on the quest to find his friends, Tran and his current companions come across his father, King Erwin, who has been turned into a sorrowful specter known as the Restless Knight. In an attempt to save poor Erwin from his sadness, our hero is sucked into the dimension of despair in which the woeful warrior has been trapped, a place that looks a lot like Dundrasil before its destruction. In the Dundrasil of old, a celebration is being held in honor of Tran's birth, and the rulers of the Great Realms of Erdrea have convened a meeting known as the Colloquy of Kings in order to confer together upon the rebirth of the Luminary. Before the meeting, Erwin finds King Carnelian and Rab in the castle courtyard and tells them of his hopes for the light the Luminary can bring to the world. Carnelian has no interest in what Erwin has to say and leaves more than a little abruptly. Sensing an awkward encounter ahead, Tran follows Erwin to Queen Eleanor's chambers. Well, there they go. King Erwin, King Carnelian, and Lord Robert, all off upstairs. I suppose the Colloquy of Kings will get started soon then. The Luminary, eh? I do wonder what life's got in store for wee Prince Tran. Still, I don't suppose it really matters all that much. His mother and father are gonna love him no matter what. That's the most important thing. Why do they have to have the Colloquy of Kings on the same day as the banquet to celebrate Prince Tran's birth? What have they got to discuss that's so important? Something to do with the prince, maybe? Queen Eleanor must be delighted to have given birth to the Luminary. I'm sure he'll be a feisty wee fellow. After all, his mother was more than a handful in her day. But you could always tell there was something special about her. Listen to me talking to myself. Come on, you, back to work. I'm rushed off my feet. Nearly time for my shift. Where's she run off to now? That wee scamp's gone off somewhere again. I don't blame her. Banquets like this must be dull as dishwater when you're her age. I just wish it wasn't me who had to keep an eye on her. I mean, Prince Jade of Helidor is famous for getting into all sorts of scrapes. You're a pretty wee thing. I'm friends with all the royal families, you know. I could introduce you to a prince or two if you're interested. Hee hee. A prince, Kervins, hee hee. All's well. The door won't budge. I want to have a wee look at the luminary too. Maybe I'll just sneak off for 5 minutes. No one will notice. Ah, no, I cannot do that. The castle's chock full of dignitaries from all over the world, and it's my job to keep them safe. The Mark of Light, eh? Same one as the Luminary of Legend. Ah, he's a special wee fellow, alright. I got to get even stronger. Oh, this is killing me. We've been getting sent out to fight monsters all over the place recently. I hope this isn't a sign of evil brewing. Take that, you bumpet, ye! King Erwin wasn't born into royalty. He was an ordinary man who became a knight, the best in the kingdom. Then one day he rescued Prince Eleanor from some monsters, and the rest is history. If that's not an inspirational story, I don't know what is. Maybe one day I'll get that. Ah, what am I saying? I didn't become a knight so I could meet some pretty lassie. I believe in the pledge. That's why I've got to keep training my hardest. Yeah! Sir Hendrik of Elidor. He's the one everyone's talking about. The finest young knight in all Erdrea, so they say. And I can see why. I just walked past him down in the dungeon, and he's every inch a hero. That man's gonna change the world, I'm sure of it. A suspiciously barren room. There it is, Erdrin's lantern. It's still giving off that strange light. I don't like it one bit. Ah, but isn't it the time for my doom and gloom? We're supposed to be happy the Luminary's been born. Wee Princess Jade really does look like her mother. Poor hen, she was so young when she passed. Door won't budge. I do feel honored to have been asked to say a few words on Prince Tran as Byzantium's future subject. When I look at all these people, I can't help but feel nervous. Probably best if I don't think about it too much and just focus on my ordinary priestly duties instead. Now then. How many times do I have to tell you, you big galoot? Queen Eleanor's chambers are through that door and on the left. Hurry up before King Erwin gets here. I'm sorry, I'm new here. I wish Lord Robert had never told me about the Book of Erdrin. I can't stop thinking about what it says about... No, I mustn't think about that. Today we celebrate the birth of Prince Tran. It's a heck with everything else. Looks like an old diagrams. Tran takes it from the shelf and has a closer look. Ever since the day I ceded the throne to young Erwin, this lad had poured his heart and soul into making Dundrasil the greatest kingdom it can possibly be. He was never raised as royalty, and I must admit I shared some of my subjects' doubts about whether or not he was truly suited to rule at first. But now I know I made the right choice. He soon gained their trust and respect, and mine as well. The entire nation is united behind him. My dear Eleanor has made a very fine choice of husband indeed, which means I can get on with enjoying my retirement. I cannot believe it. Lord Robert has been hiding his magazines under the bed again. It's only been a few days since Queen Eleanor confiscated the last lot. Ah, it's so sweet. I love hearing the sound of happy laughter coming from the King and Queen's chambers. Aye, Queen Eleanor has been in fine spirits ever since wee Prince Tran was born. And isn't he just the spit of his mammy?
He's so tiny. Can I touch him, Lady Eleanor? I promise I'll be careful.
I think he likes you, Jade. He wants to play. He's a very special boy, you know. They call him the Luminary. People have all sorts of hopes for him. But I just hope he grows up to be like his father, that he can help people to overcome their problems, just as Erwin does.
I hope he grows up to be nice and kind like you, Lady Eleanor. King Erwin!
The colloquy's about to start, Eleanor. Will you hand me the wee one? All right, wee man. Let's go and talk to some scary old men, shall we? Don't worry. Daddy'll look after you.
Oh, Erwin. You don't need to hold on to him so tight, you know. Let the poor boy breathe. Would you look at it thundering away out there? And on such a special day, too. It's making me feel uneasy.
Come on now, Eleanor. There's nothing to worry about. We'll keep you safe no matter what, won't we, wee man?
And what about me,
Hey, you don't need me to protect you, Jade. You've got King Carnelian. Your dad's a force to be reckoned with, and no mistake. Right. We better get this meeting started. I'll see you later, Eleanor.
Good luck. Both of you.